As celebration for the return of the Hunter x Hunter manga, I've been revisiting a lot of the 2011 anime. Eventually, my plan is to make it over to the 1999 OVA anime and trying to watch it for the first time. So far, I've been enjoying my binge for the most part, clearing through the first three arcs, making my way to the banger arc that is York New City, everybody knows, everybody's favorite, to finally one of my personal favorites in the collection, a very underrated and unappreciated story, which is Greed Island. It's very overlooked. I really like this arc since it's such a great break from the previous darker arcs that we had earlier. I know that the Rescue Kilo arc wasn't that dark, or Heaven's Arena wasn't that dark, but in the essence of everything, it kind of was. And the fact that Gon and Kilo are still facing the fact that like being weak is it's heartbreaking. Greed Island was such a great introduction and continuation of Nen as a power system. And what is the best way to do that by introducing this magical RPG styled island filled with whimsy and chaos, all while being tied in a very interesting, slightly undervalued antagonist, which is Genthru. So I fucking thought. Without my nostalgic glasses, I was watching Gon and Kilo tackle through the island and mastering Nen, and I noticed something. I couldn't help but realize who Genthru really was. Now, it pains me the most. No, don't get me wrong. It pains me the most. Believe me, Genthru was one of my favorite characters in Greed Island. Not even just in Greed Island, but in Hunter x Hunter. Hell, I almost stamped him with the GOAT status. Like, Togashi's iteration of a super Nen serial killer had me eating it out of his palm of his hand, if I'm gonna be blunt. But sadly, my eyes were clear, and I saw exactly who this character was. And then, no, they're not some, as I thought, some menacing super Nen serial killer psycho mastermind, but a lucky ass nigga. I'd even say a lucky ass fraud if we're gonna be very, very blunt. Now, we first meet Genthru with the other players. He's very laid back, chill, dusty looking. I like how Togashi the anime try to instill the fact that these players, the reason why they're growing a group is they're already desperate as it is, generally trying to get out of the game by winning or forfeiting, either way. But at first glance, this image looks a bit off. Amongst the other players, Genthru really doesn't seem like he belongs, and I think the anime and the manga really try to paint that picture very clearly. I'm not even talking from a writer's standpoint, but physically, like, look, this motherfucker towers nearly every player in their group. But like, rewatching the whole arc and making this video, it's kind of frustrating to look at. Like, imagine if you're a farmer and you're watching a wolf just walk up to a herd of sheep trying to blend in. Like, when you really think about it, how does an island full of Nen users and hunters not really see this lanky ass motherfucker? Like, let's be honest. From a third person perspective, obviously Genthru is the bomber, so when he's talking to Gon and Kilo, he's trying to glaze the bomber in a certain way. He starts describing him as this radical super player who only gets the baddest bitches and shit like that. After hearing Genthru just ride the bomber like with no handles, Gon and Kilo just denied their offer, and they recruit two other players in the beginning. That one black gentleman and some like sleazy looking car salesman, the guy that looks like Eddie from Ed, Edd n Eddy, you know what I'm talking about? Later on, he reveals to all the other partners or the players that he's been a two-sided ass nigga the whole time for the past 5 years. He's keeping up this act for 5 years. I'm still a bit annoyed how shocked they are. You're telling me that not a single person decided to account and investigate the other players, not just Genthru alone? And nobody was suspicious of anyone in the group as they're trying to play the game called Greed Island? Like, nobody was okay? Like, given that getting to Greed Island is also a challenge, I mean, didn't they say at the beginning that it was very limited other people can actually get to Greed Island, or getting a copy of a game was like billions of dollars? So like, there's only a small number of people on the island, unless there's like, I'm not sure exactly how many people they say were on that island, but it felt like relatively a small, minor group of people on the island. And it's just like, I know hindsight's 2020, but maybe an island of hunters, maybe we got suspicious of Genthru. Maybe he was just that fucking goated. This arc also reveals that a lot of regular hunters are just, not everybody's a psychomaniac with like murder powers. Some people just have powers like Bisky later on, who just is just genuine spa and shit like that, or Cortopi who just clones shit. Like, not everybody's psychomaniac. Like, anyways, surprise, surprise, everybody's shocked, of course. And then you see Genthru with the biggest fucking spooky grin on his face as he tells everybody that he's planted bombs on each of them. Ha ha ha. Granting them the choice. Give him the guards or boom. And then for the first time, one of the players uses his brain and tries to grab him. And Genthru grabs his hands with the sweaty ass palms and uses his shitty little flower ability and kills the hunter, who, in the group sense, They said it in this group that this guy was physically the strongest out of all of them. So he one-shots their goat and then bolts out of the cave as everybody's mouth was fucking open. Even the distinguished black man was also distracted. Like, he even said to himself he was so distracted that he simply didn't see Genthru leave until it was too late. These are supposed to be skilled hunters, skilled people in the island of the best, and we just see people just not. I don't know. And then the bums, the people who just got their cards, not even their cards, but who just got bombs set on them. Obviously, they're desperate at the attempt to try to agree with Genthru. But if he planted bombs and he's been planting this shit for 5 years, I don't think he's gonna let you go. If I'm gonna be blunt, I think the only chance of attack is probably to kill him. We're gonna be real. But anyways, the guy that looks like Eddie, he pops in and tries to negotiate with Genthru, and he's next on the dropping block. Genthru gets rid of him, and then he finally gets the cards. And what does this motherfucker do? He blows everybody up instantly with this nasty little snarky ratty grin. His demeanor changes so quickly when he's with his other friends. It's like, I wouldn't put it past him if he was like fighting genuine people who fight for the love of the game. But he's strapping to regular people. Like, the people in this group that are trying to escape Greed Island are all relative losers. They don't really have the guts or the skill to get off the island, either by getting in a company or leaving the island or whatever. It's just like, some of them said they've been stuck in this game for years. They can't get a way out of the game. They're still stuck. So he's like bombing like line cooks and like plumbers, and people who just happen to have, like, he's just stomping on roaches, and you see him cackling with his 5 friends, celebrating, basically killing NPCs. RIP to Junespa or Jespa, whatever his name. I mean, he just fed them all, so he still made a play though. As Genthru and his pair of sycophant Aryan brothers, that's how I'm gonna call him, his little Aryan brother. I'll explain more. Everybody in the island realizes that Genthru has been the bomber the entire time, and this is when Genthru actually faces his first obstacle, which is Tescara and his group. And what's the first fucking scene we see Genthru and his buddies do?
They start robbing random people in the woods.
And then Genthru has an interaction with Tescara, and it really showcases how much like luck Genthru really has when you boil it down. Like, he really can't do shit without a team. Like, even as a team, all they're doing is jumping civilians and shit. They're not really doing anything worthwhile. We then see them force these 2 players to roll a risky dice, a cursed D&D dice, where if you roll a 1, your head explodes or something. Like, even in this interaction, it shows how much like of a bum they really are when they state out loud that combat is their last resorts. I know this sounds stupid to say, but like, Genthru was trying to paint himself as a super psychopath, but like, I'm not really buying it when I really think about it. I think Togashi wanted to paint Genthru as one of those super cheesy like players that you meet in like online game who do and use some of the most lame, cheap ways to win. I mean, I'll give Genthru some credit. He did use that risky dice, but was it really that impressive when you really think about it? Let me explain. Not only did they just get off the phone with Tescara's group discussing about trading a card called Angel's Breath, a card that cures 1 person of all wounds and ills, restoring them to perfect health, meaning that they had that card on standby, and the way that Genthru and his buddies were looking when Genthru threw the fucking dice is priceless. I don't think he threw that dice out of pure insanity. I think he knew he had a backup just in case he would so I'm not even gonna count that. I just know Genthru and his friends just had that card on cooldown ready for him to fuck up. Like, all Genthru does is make some of the safest moves, and I thought he was supposed to see some genuine psychopath. I mean, I gotta give credit where credit is due. He did manage to trick Tescara, a 1-star hunter, out of some slot cards. It really isn't that impressive because later on in the arc, they're fighting against Razor in his dodgeball game. Tescara himself said that he was rusty on the fundamentals of net. So meaning, Genthru was able to trick a washed up version of Tescara. Sure, he was able to trick him. It kind of also makes Tescara a hypocrite when you think about it, because he was the bouncer for everybody to get in the Greed Island, and he's checking if everybody has it in, while also saying himself that he's like rusty, big fucking whoop. Genthru was able to con an old washed up out of shape beer belly Tescara out of 3 cards, so what? So after going to Kilo and beat Razor at the dodgeball game, I think this is probably where Genthru's plot armor really fucking shines, because the fucking moment Gon, Killua, Hisoka, Tescara, that one guy with the monkey, Biscuit, those other 2 niggas, the second they beat that game and Hisoka says, I'm out of here. I'm about to go fuck somebody else, right? Even Hisoka said it himself, stating that the battle was very fun and left him sensitized.
You's a freaky ass nigga. Again, say you're supposed to.
Second Hisoka leaves the fucking battle, where do we see Genthru? Can you point to the fucking screen where Genthru is? Why is him and his homie on some random cliff in the middle of bumfuck nowhere? He brought a telescope out of all things. He brought a goddamn telescope, looking down and spying on 3 children. I think he's been sitting up there the entire time. He tried to play it off like Gon was in there, knowing damn well he saw all 7 of them. Like, not only did he dodge Hisoka,
He also dodged the Phantom Troop due to the fact that the black nin exorcists that they were hunting down went to go find Gon and Bisky. And by that time when the Phantom Troop found him, he'd already got rid of the bomb on him. The Phantom Troop would have no incentive or reason to go hunt down Genthru. This motherfucker is lucky.
Even later on, it's revealed Hisoka's been there for a minute, and he probably heard about the bomber. If Hisoka has no interest in you, you haven't made it as a hunter. You can't be put in the greats. I'm sorry. Rewatching this, I never realized how much plot armor and luck that Genthru really had. I'll give Genthru's friends some credit because they're always down the box, always trying to just run at shit. But Genthru just wants no part in it. He just wants to sit around and jump cashiers, Uber drivers, rob them and blow them up. He doesn't want to do anything but that. Like, it's even more funny when he's facing Gon, Killua, and Bisky. He starts to look really detailed and confident when he's fighting literal children. Mind you, when he was asked about fighting Tesgera, he was not looking like this. I'll show you some pictures. This motherfucker was not looking like this. Like, look at these shots when he's about to assault Gon. Why did they put so much detail in this shit? Like, look at these. Look. He was feeling himself. I've never seen him look this enthusiastic, except when touching literal children. Like, he then, during the fight, tells Gon, he self-proclaims himself as a lunatic, yada yada yada. I'm a self-proclaimed psychopath, yeah right, gassing himself up. He stated in the fight that his entire motives were to break Gon's spirit, not only his spirit, his will to fight, to stand and resist? This is like, what does he mean by that? Resist? What the fuck does that even? What do you mean by that? Like, at that point, he forgot he was on Greed Island at that point. That nigga had no clue where his mind was. And then, like, my favorite part in the fight is when I realized how shit Genthru's little flower ability really is. So not only is he a conjurer, but he covers his hand with more aura when he uses his little bombs not to blow up his fingers. Basically meaning, if you get grabbed at him, as Gon demonstrated during the fight, you can just take that shit. Like, you come up with some of the worst nin, this is probably one of the worst nin abilities when you think about it. Not only does it do less damage, but you have to use a lot of aura in order to not blow your shit smooth off. Like, it really shows you, no wonder he jumps people. Like, when you realize, when he actually has to work for his wins, it's not really that fun to watch. Like, later on in the fight, Gon shows how much a true demon moves and kicks him straight in his shit, right in his chin. He takes one hit from Gon. One regular hit from Gon. I can't remember how much the percentage he said. Gon said, or Genthru said how much Gon blocked and used the kick. I think he said like 70%. Anyways, a regular nin kick to the jaw, right straight to the fucking crimson chin, and he starts backing up, panicking. Like, his whole demeanor changes, his entire tempo is shifted. This entire time, he was painted and portrayed as this giant, super psychopath running around blowing up people. But at the end of the day, he really isn't that special when you think about it. Not only was he super lucky, his nin ability is crap, he jumps niggas, he can't fight, he's broke, he has to rob people. And then he's a fake demon to top it all off. When he meets a genuine threat, which is Gon. He was portrayed as such a fucking threat. And then we see him in actual combat and you're just left with, that's it? Like, look at these shots before and after when he just takes one kick. Just one shot, mind you. He got touched one time by Gon. And then at the end of the arc, when everybody wins, when Gon gets all the cards, Tesgera's group gets an early payout because the person they were working for lost all hope in life. That one guy splits the reward with everybody, and Gon gets all his cards. Killua heals his hand. This shit makes me so mad. Sometimes I really wish Killua would just shut the fuck up. Like, I love Killua as a character, but I really wish that little nigga would shut the hell up sometimes. They would never, Genthru and his group would never, ever in 1,000 chapters do the same shit to y'all. So why? Why would you help them? I don't get it. I'm not saying you have to kill them. I'm just saying leave them there it is. Leave them how it is. Like, what purpose do you get from healing it? It doesn't make them a better person. The Chimera Ant Art surely fucking disproves that theory. It doesn't make them a better person at all. It doesn't make them hypocrites. I don't understand why do it. Maybe it makes Golem a hypocrite. Not even Golem a hypocrite, because Golem wasn't even piping up at the time. It was all fucking that one. It was all Killua. Like, why? Like, shut up. Please shut up. I don't want to ever hear anybody talk about Genthru as some super bad, crazy Nen villain. He really ain't nothing when you think about it. He's Hisoka food, he's Illumi food, he's Crollo bait, I mean, I'm listing off like the top tiers I know, but like they've only been facing against other top tiers. Hell, I even said Kurapika has a better chance. Late Oreo, remote punch late Oreo has a better chance.
Thank you for watching. I've been trying to edit more and have a lot more long form videos. Try to mix things up. If you stick around this long, I really appreciate it. Have a good one.